I was at a buddy's house today where I got sunburned. His mom rents a house in Malibu every summer for the month of July. I was like, I'd like to rent something down there. I can't, of course, can't afford it, but I just like to enter into conversations like that. So potentially, calls my bluff and she puts me on the phone with her realtor, like a real estate agent. So I'm like, okay. So what's great about these LA real estate agents is they're like right out of a Robert Altman movie. Like they're just exactly what you'd imagine them to be. Like there's dialogue written for them and just handed to them. First of all, they're always super familiar with you. They're like a waiter at Fridays. It's a little weird. Who gets down on his knees when you're a little kid and you're there with your dad. And he's like, hey, champ. Yeah. Hey, buddy, I bet you're pretty hungry. I bet you want some fucking chicken fingers, don't? It's like, so I get on the phone. Well, of course, her name's Tracy. Every realtor's name is Tracy, okay? Tracy is either the name of a porn star or a realtor. So I get on the phone with this woman, and she's like, hey, Tim, how are you? And I'm like, good. And she's like, let me tell you something right now. This market in Malibu, it's a real knife fight. It's a real knife fight down here in Malibu. I don't care what the government's saying. People are snatching up properties left and right. So I'm just letting you know what it is. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to get into a knife fight in Malibu. I can't. I will get into maybe a shoving match in Silver Lake. Maybe a fender bender in Studio City. But I don't think a knife fight in Malibu is appropriate. And she's like, so is your budget under 40 a month? She means 40,000. I'm like, yeah, around there. I mean, I'm like, because if I'm going to spend more than that, I'll just get a house, right? She's like, right. She goes, I'll send you some options. She goes, this could be your summer of love. It's a whole different world out here, Tim. It's a whole different world. She's like cracked out of her face. She's coked out. Her husband's fucking her assistant. She's like, Tim, it's a real knife fight here in Malibu. I haven't felt since I found out my husband fucked my sister last Christmas. It's a real knife fight here in Malibu. The only thing I ate last week was Adderall and grapefruit juice. It's a real knife fight. Come armed or not. It's a knife fight here in Malibu. My son thinks he's a woman. It's a knife fight. Take the blades out and get cut. Someone's getting cut. My name is Tracy, and I'm a real estate agent. And you fat sister and her husband in Ohio, those 3 disgusting kids, she's beat cancer 3 fucking times. They're so happy in their above ground pool with their poverty. But she doesn't understand. I get in that white Jaguar, license plate says sold, and I drive down to PCH, and I say it's a knife fight. It's a goddamn knife fight. Are you ready? I'm like, not really. I'm not really. I don't, Tracy, you seem a bit intense. Yeah. I feel like I'm not really ready for this, sword fight? I'm not ready for it. It's that intensity that she hangs on to. Her husband blew her brains out years ago. She found his brain matter all over the kitchen table. She didn't even move it. She just sat there, took a little sip of cold brew, and stared right out into the beautiful ocean. She's got a stunning estate. It's a stunning view. It's a knife fight. Life's a knife fight. That's probably your high school yearbook quote. Life's a knife fight. I can't believe my goddamn, I can't believe I got so sunburned. I'm really fucked up. Yeah. Like my sunburn, it's like bad. Yeah. Looks bad, right? Yeah. It's like a bad one.
You're very red.
It's very, very bad. My nose is like running. I think that's this room. Is your nose running a little too? It's the fucking studio.
Around like minute 30, it starts running, yeah.
It's a studio. Thank God I have this magic spoon. It fucking hurts my mouth. But it won't hurt yours if you don't have a... What do you think of it? Isn't it a nice cereal?
I legitimately really like it.
The fruity flavor is the best flavor. It's good. I mean, it's good. It's low, low in what it has to be, and high in what it has to be as well. It's both low in the bad and high in the good, and that's all we ask.
And you don't feel shitty after you eat it.
Breakfast is a knife fight. You know what I mean? It's a real knife fight, this market, for healthy cereal. We can get Kashi, you fucking TiVo-wearing dyke. Put the Kashi down.
It sucks.
It's not good. So I don't think I'll be renting anything in Malibu because I'm just not prepared for that level of aggression.
What options does she give you? Anything?
I mean, I have to email her, and I probably have to tell her. I tell her I have no credit.
Right.
I'm like, hey, is there anyone in Malibu that wants to rent me something with no credit? I have money, but no credit. Yeah. How do they feel about? Hey, how do you feel about this? Let's talk about our knife before we get into the knife fight, because our knife's kind of dull. I found it on a train, and it has some dried blood on it, so it has worked before. Shiny knife, from one of those Japanese block of wood, and one of those knife collections that people buy. It's almost like a samurai sword, and I'm coming in with like a dull butter knife used to kill a mother. It's a goddamn knife fight. I just love the way they talk, man. I love real estate agents. There's nobody I like more than if they're as deep as a puddle. They're as deep as a puddle, these people. I mean, there is nothing underneath there. It doesn't go deeper than that. So this market, hey, Tim, this market's a real knife fight. So I'll tell you this right now. I don't care what the government's saying. People are snatching up these properties left and right. It's a real knife fight down here in Malibu. You know how many times a day she says that? Hey, Karen, how are you? Tracy, just getting back to you. It's heating up down here. Market's a real knife fight. You know how it is. They make stupid jokes that have to be like, you can't offend anyone, so the jokes have to be like dad jokes, Yeah. They have to be like, well, you know what happens? You get a little tequila. I could be a little wild. I wish I felt. That's what.
They're on drugs, too, right?
I mean, they have to be pumping themselves up.
Yeah.
Because, here's the other thing. They're not wrong. It's not a knife fight. Like, it's a lot of rich people that are just throwing houses at each other down there, and everybody wants to be in the best place for the summer. I mean, it's just funny when you hear one of them talk because it's exactly what I would have imagined her to say. It's like perfect. Have you ever met someone and they were a human being and it's so disappointing and you're like, no, don't tell me your son has MS. Tell me it's a knife fight. No, I want to hear about the knife fight. I want to hear about the billionaires throwing houses at each other on the beach. Oh, there's only a certain amount of plots and everyone wants to build. No. Oh, no, you have a lump on your breast. No, what about the knife fight? Can we go back to the good old knife fight? The fake knife fight that everyone fights with wire transfers and lawyers. We just saw Rogan's new club that he's opening in Texas. It's going to be amazing. Truly amazing. It's going to be really wild, And I was arguing with him about Austin real estate this morning. I was saying, hey, man, it's a little bit of a bubble. It's overvalued. He's like, no, it's not. We go back and forth. I'm like, I get it. It is a cool place to live. But, it's a little bit of a bubble here, I think. I'm looking at houses now. You walk in, there's not even people. They're like, an algorithm is offered to buy this house. I'm like, oh, good. It just but I get to talk to a lot of real estate professionals. And what's great about realtors is that, like, Ben was dealing with these realtors who do rentals and stuff, and it's like, they're not even full-time realtors. So you're calling them, they're at their other job. They're like trying to get into real estate. It's like you're calling them going, hey, we sent over all the documents. They're like bagging groceries at a H-E-B or whatever the store is here. And they're like, yeah, good. We're making it happen. They're not even realtors yet. They're in the process of becoming real estate agents. Like they have a license, but they don't have any clients and no money. So you're calling people that are just doing something else. They're like nannying for a child. And you're calling them and you're like, hey, we're making this happen, right? And they're like, yeah. And then like a child's vomiting on them and they have to then change the child because that's their day job. That's the money they make, And then a lot of these realtors seem to have brain injuries, traumatic brain injuries, many of the women. They seem to have autoimmune disorders. They're very sloth-like creatures. They kind of collapse into the couch. They stare at you. When Ben comes in, I always mention his wife so they don't think we're gay, so they don't like not sell the house to faggots or jack it up. It's good idea. If you want to come here and be faggots, you're going to pay. You'll pay. But I'm always like, Ben and his wife moved here. And then when Ben leaves the room, I look at the realtor and I go, I still suck his cock. So it throws her, because that's a negotiation strategy. But no, I mean, the realtor we spoke to today was a lovely woman who's, probably was in a car accident. Woman, she's very sweet, but the type of sweet that someone is when they didn't get enough oxygen at birth. You know what I mean? Where it's like they're just kind of. Now, I may lose the house because of that now, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. Comedy first. Comedy first. But I hope to get it. I'm really excited. It's not that expensive, and it will be reasonable. But I want to make sure that I can put in a pool because I like to swim, and that is my exercise. Dan Carney just got an apartment at like this, where kids live, these 24-year-olds. And not kids, real people live there too. These places where like you have everything you need. By the way, is there anything worse than a human being who moves into an apartment complex and says this? They go, you got everything you need. You got everything. You got a Whole Foods and a TJ Maxx. Whoa, what do you need? You got everything you need? What the fuck's wrong with you? I need much more than that. I need more than a fucking Whole Foods and a place to get socks. There's a gym and a pool and Whole Foods. You have everything you need. What about for your soul? This basic bitch culture of erecting these fucking like cheap wood, plastic crap apartment buildings and then putting them next to a fucking TJ Maxx so you can go in and buy underwear. And they're going, you got everything you need. Why would you leave? Everything's here. Why would you leave and meet people and experience other things? Everything that you ever needed is here in the pod. And then Carney talks about it, he goes, my unit? Like he doesn't even say his apartment. He goes, my unit? He goes, the unit doesn't have washer and dryer. I'm like, you shut the fuck up. The unit. I am in the unit. And then he tells me, he goes, I'm facing the pool, which is much better than facing the... What are we doing here? Life should be about more than this. Life should be about more than that. I understand that creature comforts matter. I understand convenience matters. I get it. But using the phrase everything you need makes you sound like a basic bitch nobody who just needs so little that you can live on the side of a highway and have socks and fucking peanut butter, and that's everything you need. What are you talking about? I need culture. I need people that have faked their own death. I need people that go to bars instead of spending time with princes from their youth. I need people that were in cults that are trying to get out of them or getting into other ones. I need people that have brain injuries trying to sell me houses. I need things. I need more than an apartment complex with just fucking 20, 30-something staring at each other. He goes, I made a friend there. He's a music manager. Has an apartment. But this whole thing of like, let's make life into this boring shit. This hyper-consumerist horse shit. Where is the old woman who knows the secrets of the universe because she was kept in a cage for the majority of her life? And she realizes that she was, because people loved her. She was angry at them for a time, but now she realizes that they were trying to keep her safe. Where's that woman? Where are the people who've come out of jail and realized that jail is the only fair place left in this country? Where are they? They're not in your unit. Are they at the pool? Where are the characters? The people that have the courage to say that Donald Trump was too liberal. Where are they? Oh, do they provide you a free continental breakfast? Do you get free? We went and looked at a unit in L.A.
Oh,
Steve
10,000
Bings.
Santa
Steve
Monica.
Bings.
Yes.
And that was a basic bitch building too, but for rich people. But I only considered living there because I thought I might get the unit where Steve Bing flung himself out of the window because I wanted to kill myself from the same unit. And because just the idea of the person, the in-house sales team, having to show the unit again and going, I mean, we don't want to even go into this, but Steve Bing and then also Tim Dillon killed himself from this exact window. That's funny to me because then it's a cursed apartment and then I have a legacy. But these basic bitch little fucking, complexes. He's like, you got to come see my spot, man. It's pretty cool. Oh, is it? Is it pretty cool? We can go walk around the Whole Foods and get bananas. Oh, is it cool? Wait, me, you, and the music manager hang out and get bananas at the Whole Foods because there's everything you need? Well, I need a little bit more. I need more than that. I'm just saying, everywhere I've lived, there's been a lot of characters. And I look at these new apartment complexes and they're devoid of any character, anybody that's really going to say something cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm happy for him, and I'm happy that there are people out there that are, he's doing good. He's opening for me. He has a nice apartment. It's good. I have to live in a place where people have traumatic brain injuries. I have to live in a place where people invent autoimmune disorders they do not have and medicate themselves for them. That's just my rule. I have to live around glazed eyes, middle-aged women who claim to have lupus and do not. That is where I must be. I must not be in the little Carney complex. That's okay. I'm not saying that there's not a lot of people hurting out there. There is. I just happen to know dirtbags that take advantage of the system. I don't happen to know a lot of people that are like genuinely salt of the earth people. I've never met any of these salt of the earth people that are out there. I want to. I see them. I know they're there. I just don't attract them into my orbit. I attract thieves, goons, and liars. So they're riding this out like they rode Hurricane Sandy out. Long Island, Hurricane Sandy was the best thing that happened to Long Island because it gave all of my friends a decade excuse for the failure that was inevitable anyway. I had one friend, like after Hurricane Sandy, he's like, that's why I don't live on the water. That's risky. Right. And it's like, no, you don't live on the water because you failed out of Nassau Community College. And you have a criminal record. After everybody's house got destroyed, everybody was like, well, here's my, I was working as the medical biller before Hurricane Sandy. Everything was coming together. I was going to get married with Vincent. And then the hurricane happens. And our entire lives got turned upside down. Thank you, News 12, for letting us air our grievances. Obama did this because he is black. We know that. He did it with his black witch powers that he has from his country. He did this to Long Island because we voted for that other guy, McCain, Mitt, whoever, the white one. Anyway, Hurricane Sandy ruined our lives. Yes, I was technically fired from my job 2 weeks before the hurricane for showing up drunk. Coronavirus could be the new Hurricane Sandy. Everybody's just going to be one word. They're going to be, so what have you been up to? And some people are just going to go, well, what if I need COVID-19? Come on.